Hey y'all, welcome to Daddy's Got a Story. I'm glad you are here. First of all, happy New Year's Eve. Yeah, I was supposed to go live yesterday and I totally did not. And for good reason, y'all. I was just really tired. Um, I've been going hard and being consistent online with producing content, and sometimes you have to take a little break. Also, sometimes when you're not getting the best sleep, or if you're not in the best situation, it can tire you, right? So I actually got some pretty good rest last night, and I got a lot of energy. I got a lot of energy. So I'm here, and I'm happy that I'm here. There's been a lot going on, y'all. A lot going on. Okay. It's been so much going on that I'm not even sure. Who is this? Hold on, y'all. You gotta check your surroundings. It's been so much going on that I'm not even sure if I should talk about everything. But knowing me, I might end up talking about everything anyway, because when people start asking me questions and things just come out, that's just what it is. But so if you're not subscribed to All Baddies Got a Story, please subscribe to All Baddies Got a Story. I do go live every day, sometimes twice a day, except for yesterday and the day before because I was really tired. But I did go live twice 2 days ago. So one of those makes up for, so technically I didn't go live in one day. That's right, I said it. So subscribe to All Baddies Got a Story. Also check out my other feature channels on this page, like my artistry channel at That Girl Shanda, with my original spoken word, my original songs that I perform and sing, and what else? And my original musical compositions that I compose. All on at That Girl Shanda. So check it out. I also have a podcast, All Baddies Got a Story podcast. Link is in my profile. Click that link. Subscribe to the pod. I also have a few episodes from my podcast in the podcast playlist folder on this channel. Check that out. But anywho, all right, y'all. It's been a lot going on, and I'm trying to think about what to talk about first. Okay. Happy New Year, or Happy New Year's Eve. We're going into it. Might be a new year for you already, wherever you are. It's not New Year's. It's not a new year for us yet. We're still waiting to go into the new year. So I guess everybody's going to get together and watch the countdown and everything. It's getting cold out here, y'all. Southern California is like winter temperatures now, which East Coast might laugh at us. They might say y'all temperatures is nothing compared to the East Coast, but it's pretty chilly. I saw my breath last night. Okay, you can see your breath. Sorry, I got something in my teeth. If you can see your breath, to me that means it's really cold. I always feel like it's something in my tooth, and I've been trying to get it out. But hi, my dress style. What, a hoodie and a hat? I just got off of work. This is my dress style when I go to work. So I usually go live when I'm either at work or right after work. So it's my dress style for work. I don't know what that means. But anywho, all right. So I want to talk about some stuff that's been going on in the headlines, y'all. I don't know if y'all saw recently about these New York correctional officers who was seen fatally killing a young man on camera. Robert Brooks, 43 years old. Did y'all see that? Oh, I lost a lot of viewers when I started talking about that. Anyway, I posted a video, a short, of those police officers doing what they were doing to that young man. And he was handcuffed, y'all. So it's not like he was, fighting them back or anything. He was defenseless. He couldn't even fight back if he wanted to. He had his handcuffs behind his back, and they were literally throwing him around like a rag doll. You know what I mean? Kicking him in his groin, kicking him in his head. They gagged him with a towel so that no one would hear him scream. I mean, it was really, really, really vicious, really malicious, really savage. And so when I see stuff like that being done to an individual, especially an individual who is completely defenseless, that can't defend themselves, it really makes you wonder where the humanity is. And even more, it makes you wonder if they are human, because I'm not understanding what a person gets out of like beating somebody to death. You know what I mean? Unless like I'll take that back. If there is someone that is beating somebody to death because they violated their child, if someone is beating someone to death because they violated or hurt a family member, like, sister, but family, I'll just say family member because I said child. I separated that from family. So in a sense, I can definitely understand if somebody is beating somebody to death because of that. You know what I'm saying? If you see somebody hurting your family member in a really horrible way, your natural reaction is to protect your family member, right? And that could be with a weapon, it could be with your hands, it could be with anything, right? So I definitely understand how one can beat somebody to death over that. However, if a person is under arrest and whatever they did, I don't know what Robert Brooks did, but whatever he did, I'm pretty sure it wasn't anything personal against those correctional police officers. I'm sure it didn't disrupt their home, their family life, or anything like that. I'm sure it was nothing personal to them, right? And the fact that he was handcuffed and that you can just stomp somebody to death. And honestly, y'all, it looked like he was already dead. Like, it looked like they had already beat him, and it looked like they were just beating a dead body. Like, it's like they just kept on and they wouldn't stop. And then there were people outside the door watching, laughing. So it was reported that 13 New York correctional police officers, 12 New York correctional police officers were being held accountable for those actions. And the 13th person was an actual nurse. The governor of New York, Governor Hochul, said that all of those participants were going to be fired. What's interesting, though, is that the governor of New York did not mention those police officers' names. She did not put their faces up in lights for all of the world to see clearly their faces, even though you can see some of their faces on the camera, but clearly, like a mugshot, basically, right? She didn't say anything about them being charged or anything. Just the fact that they would be fired, which in my eyes means that they're just going to be redirected to another police department to carry on. Because if you fire them and you don't mention their names and you don't show their faces, then they're going to either be rehired somewhere else or they're going to keep their positions where they are right now. It's just they're just putting on for the cameras. I mean, because I don't understand why you wouldn't show their faces or why the names aren't being, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit was, it was hard to watch that. It was really hard. It was hard to watch it because it was so brutal. And they were beating him like he stole something from them. They were beating him like he defiled somebody in their family. Hey, what's up?
What you doing?
Talking to some folks. Told you I know too many people around here, y'all. But I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. Huh? Oh, I don't. Ask Jay. Because I don't. Huh? No, at the room. Julie.
Yeah, that's marijuana though. I want CBD.
Oh, I didn't know you were even saying that. Oh, I have no idea. No.
You can't spare nothing?
No, I don't have anything like that. I don't do that.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, child. Oh Lord, I wasn't expecting that question, y'all. Child. Somebody just came and asked me for some drugs. Do I look like I sell drugs? I wasn't expecting that question, y'all. You just never know what you're going to get hit with nowadays, okay? I mean, I know it's New Year's Eve and everything, and people want to partay, but I remember this one dude, he used to always come up to me and say, hey, do you have some dope? Do you have some heroin? Do you have... I was like, what? No. When you work like in a motel, hotel situation, you'd be surprised what the guests come up to you asking for. You'd be like, do you have a condom? Do you know where I can get some condoms? Do you have condoms here? No. Have you ever known a motel to sell condoms? Maybe some. Do hotels sell condoms? Now I'm wondering now. This just took me completely away from my subject, what I was talking about. I'm sorry, I was not expecting for him to come up and ask me that question. Anyway, do hotels sell condoms? You know what though, y'all? If I had a hotel or a motel, it would be off the hook. It really, really would. Like, first of all, the hospitality would be off the hook because I'm just awesome. That's right, I said it. I'm awesome. And anybody who works with me know I'm awesome. Even the ones that fucking hate me, okay? I'm awesome. And I know I'm awesome because the guests like me, or they love me, they adore me. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And I can be hated for that too. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I know my customer service is on point. I have over 20 years customer service experience, which is one of the reasons why I want to open a cafe, because I already know that my cafe is going to be bomb.com. And some people, you know how some people can try to steal your ideas and like, you know, if you say you're going to do something, they're like, oh, I'm going to do it too. If you do it, oh, I'm going to do it too. I can do it better. Or I can do it. Or, you know, or they try to mimic you or copy or whatever. I never get, like, sometimes I'll get frustrated if somebody keeps trying to mimic me or whatever. But at the end of the day, they can never be you. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, they can never be you. And a lot of the times when you are creating something, if someone is mimicking you or copying you, they can't move until you move. They have to figure out what you're doing. Like that song about when I move, you move, just like that. When I move, you move, just like that. You know what I'm saying? The doppelgangers. It's like AI. How AI copies everything and everybody. It's kind of like that, you know? So I'm never what's the word I'm looking for? I'm never like perturbed. That's the first word that came to my mind. I'm never perturbed about my shit not being great. You know what I mean? I'm only perturbed when, you know, a motherfucker tries really, really hard to hide me, right? So that they can copy me. Because if I get her out of the way, then I can just take over everything that she is. I've watched her enough to know her personality. I've watched her enough to study her face expressions. I've watched her enough to notice or to hear her lingo. I've watched her enough to speak the words that she speaks. I've watched her enough to move how she moves and dress like she dresses and act like she acts. I've watched her enough. But every time a motherfucker watch me and they think they got me down pat, I come out with something completely different. And it blows people away. And they're just like, I thought I knew her. I thought I studied her to a T. I thought I had her down packed. No, baby. You can never have the original down packed, baby. Never, ever. Because you don't know what the original is coming with. You know how many layers originals have? Do you? Do you? You know how many layers? Originals have a lot of layers. A lot of layers that you're not going to be able to study in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years, in 4 years. Oh no, because originals grow. That's another thing motherfuckers don't know. Evolution, baby. Okay? It takes years to hone what we have, what we articulate, what we emulate, what we are. It takes years. And every year we grow and we hone something new, yet to be discovered. So whenever you think you can just copy a motherfucker, because you think you studied them enough to get it down packed to know what they like or know this and know this and know that. Just know you're going to always be hit with something else completely different. And if you were ever placed next to the original, you will fail every single time. And that's what happens when you try to be like somebody else instead of being your motherfucking self. Because I never aim to be like anybody. I don't want to be like anybody else. I love being me. I love who I am. And a lot of people love who I am too. And I'm grateful that a lot of people appreciate who I am. And they respect it. But you know what? The ones that hate on you, they actually respect you too. You actually inspire them. They will just never tell you that you inspire them because they hate on you so much. So they'll just hate on you behind the scenes and talk shit about you and laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you. Like that movie, Carrie, laugh at you and, mock you and, all those things behind your back. And then in your face, they'll say, hey, girl. Hey. Sometimes people are upset with me because my personality is very forward. Like it's very, like some people, like I'm blunt and I guess I say it like it is, and some people don't like that. What's interesting is that my mother, Jacqueline Van Howell, she always says, I have a rich person's name. She said that like for years, all my life. And I'm like, how them coins looking? Anyway, so my mom always says, I lost my train of thought. She might be watching and mad at me. Hold on. Oh, wait. Oh, what's going on here? There's a lot going on in the chat. Happy New Year. Hey. Hi. Who is this? Okay. How do you say that in Espanol? Mierda? Isn't it mierda? Something like that. The judge protecting those officers like they're minors. Well, mentally, they probably are. You doing some shit like that? Yeah, yeah. People that work hotels, some sell or concierge anything on their own decision to do so. Hush, hush. Sell what? Oh, I thought you, okay. I didn't know what you meant at first. Okay. The originator, the duplicator, they can't copy the vibration. The vibration is internal. The vibration is invisible. Be you. Exactly. But that's why I don't understand why people try. It's like, what? Like, I understand being inspired by people. I absolutely understand that. For example, I'm inspired by Barry White. I'm inspired by Prince. I'm inspired Kanye West. I'm inspired by a lot of people. And the only reason why I named those individuals is because I've actually created music that was inspired by those people, those artists. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my song, damn, I can't remember my songs. Rocket. Oh my God, I'm forgetting my own music. I forget the name of my song. Anyway, it's either called Skyrocket. Lord have mercy. Skyrocket was inspired by a Kanye West song. It was his song Pure Souls. So Pure Souls, I was inspired by Pure Souls, and that's how I created Skyrocket. It doesn't sound anything like Kanye West's song Pure Souls. You would never think that it was inspired by that song, but it was. What's another song that was inspired by Barry White? Oh, you know what? I can't name one song that I made that, or what a musical composition that I made that wasn't inspired by Barry White, because there was quite a few of them, and Prince. I get my beat building skills from Barry White, and I get my eclectic music style. I'm not going to say from Prince, but he helped me to realize that, I can create whatever I want to create. And as long as it's if it sounds good to me, then it's okay. You know, a lot of times I find that a lot of artists, they like overthink, you know, making music, because sometimes artists will think that they have to make music for the people. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that we shouldn't make music for the people. We are making music for the people, but you have to make music that you relate to, that you vibe to. Because if you're making music that you don't vibe to, if you're making music that you don't relate to, if you're making music that you know, it doesn't feel natural, then it's not going to come across as natural or, you know, authentic. And you know what I'm saying? So you have to make music for yourself. And then when you make it for yourself, those who vibe with your style, they become your vibe tribe, right? Because they vibe with your style. And so just kind of like how a person dresses. If a person dresses a certain way and somebody vibes with how the person dresses, you'll see some people starting to dress like you, right? Because they vibe with your style. It's kind of like that. You know what I noticed? That when couples get in relationships, eventually they start dressing the same. I've noticed that. And especially like celebrity couples, like you notice if they get in relationships, they'll start like matching outfits and shit and start dressing the same. And I always wondered, well, I guess you always see who inspires who. You know, especially if it's one person that you know that never dressed a certain way, and then they start dressing a certain way once they get with the person that they're with. It's like, okay, so this person inspired you to dress like this. So is that like copying, or is that like, I mean, it's inspiration, yes, but is it like copying the person that you're with? So does the person just like morph into their spouse, so to speak? Because if you are dating like a biker dude who wears like all black leather boots, you know, cowboy hat, blah, 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 and you don't dress like that at all, and then you get with him and then you start wearing cowboy boots and wearing black leather jackets and cowboy hats and stuff like that, are you officially the doppelganger, the copycat of your spouse? And if you are, then what does that say about you? I got questions, y'all. I got questions. But anyway. What else do I want to talk about? Yeah, so as far as those New York correctional police officers, they definitely need to do more than just fire them, because I don't believe that the firing is going to keep them without a job. Like, do they lose their pensions? How else are you going to punish these people? Show their names, show their faces. That's what I feel. And my thing is if you so bad and savage to do what you did to this innocent, defenseless person that was handcuffed, then you should be big, bold, and bad to show your face and your name across the TV screen. And if you don't, what are you scared of? That's in my opinion. Okay, and then I also saw that neo-Nazis were parading through Columbus, Ohio with the SWASTiKA and handing out flyers talking about, white power and stuff like that, right? Okay, y'all, I have no problem with white people protesting white power. There are a lot of people who are very proud of their race, okay? There are a lot of people who, the Puerto Ricano, the West Indian parade, and, there's a lot of people who are loud and proud about who they are, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, I have issue when your loudness and proudness comes with violence, okay? Because, I've seen other races be loud and proud about their races, whether they have a parade, a march, a special event, you know what I'm saying? I've seen it. A lot of it normally doesn't elicit violent movements and things like that. But when you think of neo-Nazis and swastikas and the KKK and stuff, you automatically think violence, right? You automatically think violence. You automatically think, because that's the history behind it, right? evil is the history behind it. But I take no issue with a person saying white power and being proud of their race. What I've discovered, y'all, though, about the swastika is that the swastika isn't even original to Nazis or Germans or whatever. Like, it's not even original to them. They appropriated the swastika. The swastika, I've discovered, goes all the way back to like 300 CE when it was discovered in Egypt. And as we know, earlier Egypt was originally in America. Okay. So the oldest swastika known to man, discovered in 300 CE, was in Egypt. And Egypt was originally in America. Okay. And the symbol is known for like peace, love, and light. It's like a godly symbol in different races. So like in the Euro-Asia East Indian race, it's a good symbol in East India, right? Which is in Euro-Asia. So it's a good symbol over there. And like the Buddhist culture and stuff like that. It was even found in parts of Africa. But it was the oldest swastika was found in Egypt, which used to be in America. But it was always known as a good symbol in other cultures. And then neo-Nazis, German neo-Nazis, they appropriated the swastika and they turned the goodness of it into evil, right? And so when I thought about that, I was like, damn, they took something good and made it bad. They took something good and made it evil. They took something, and I was like, damn, that's kind of messed up. And immediately my brain went to a person taking a person. What's that rap song Jay-Z did? Jay-Z said, what did Jay-Z say? Once you have a good girl, y'all know what I mean, right? You have a good girl. Once you turn a good girl bad, she's gone forever. Something to ever. I got to deal with the fact I did you wrong forever. So it reminds me of that. You take something good and you make it bad. So they took the goodness of the swastika symbol and they made it into a bad thing. Like a person takes another person, a good person, and makes them bad by, making them do things, or, peer pressuring them to do things, or treating them really, really horrible to the point where their heart turns cold, and then they start treating other people horrible because of how they were treated. You know what I mean? And so, it's kind of like that. That's what it reminds me of. And so backpedaling a little bit. Also, when I was watching that video, when those New York correctional officers were beating Robert Brooks, 43-year-old Robert Brooks, to death, and then there were onlookers standing outside the door watching and laughing, it was reminiscent to back in the day when they would hang melanated people from the trees, and they would have town events. It was like a festive event where they would gather in a community center, all young, old, little kids, and they made sure the kids watched. They made sure the little kids watched. You saw the old gray black and white pictures of them, showing the kids, look up at the tree, look up at that melanated person hanging from the tree. You know what I mean? And so there's a history behind that. And so when you see something like that happening, and then you see them, some people standing outside the door watching and laughing like it's funny, it's reminiscent of back in the day. So back in the day is still today. It's just been hidden a lot better. But not even, because now we have digital everything and internet everything and cameras everything. And so now it's coming out more and more. It was hidden over time, and then the internet just brought it back to life again. So it just basically shows us that it never went away. And so the fact that they were watching him get brutally beaten to death and laughing about it, it makes me feel like they're not human. It makes me feel like, how can you sleep at night? knowing that you did that, it makes me feel like, why did it make you feel good to do that to a defenseless person? Why did it make you feel good? And why were you constantly kicking him in his groin? This is the thing though. You're kicking him in his groin as if you wanted to completely stop his reproductive system, like so that he couldn't impregnate anybody. But clearly he wasn't going to be able to impregnate anybody because you were killing him, right? So what was the point of you even smashing him in his groin? You know, there's a logic behind that. There's a lot. Did he have a big... Because they stripped him naked too. I don't know if I show that part in the video that I posted, but in the video that's out there online, they stripped him completely naked and they put a white rag over his penis. But they stripped him completely naked and he laid there on the table, still in handcuffs. And so the fact that they were really kicking him in his groin, is that the hatred of a black man's penis size or a black man's penis? Because Dr. Frances Welsing, hope I'm saying her name right, Dr. Frances Welsing, she also spoke about the hatred of the black male penis. And she said that it was a strong hatred of it. And that's why back in the day, like you would find, like when black men were lynched or American Indian men were lynched, killed, a lot of times you would find their penises cut off and things like that. It was like a hatred of the black penis. And recently, y'all, there was this guy, this gamer, who was playing with another gamer. It was a white, chubby kind of guy. And then it was a black, i.e. American Indian guy, and they were gaming together, right? And the melanated guy said that the white guy turned racist on him, right? And so this is what this guy does. He puts on blast anybody who is a gamer who is racist, right? And then he ends up telling them off, like ripping them to shreds on the camera. And then he posts it on YouTube for everybody to see, which ultimately embarrasses the gamer that never thought that what they said would get out to the public like that, right? And what I found interesting is that this white guy, he was a bit on the chubby side. Once the melanated man humiliated him, just completely ripped him to shreds for being racist, the chubby white guy then explained his racism. And he said that he hates black men because they get all the women. He said, and they get all the white women, is what he said. He said they get all the white women and they all have big penises. And I said, oh, are you kidding me right now? And so when he said that, I was like, so that's why he was being, I was like, so it's not even that he's technically racist. It sounds like he's jealous, envious. So are we getting it incorrect? Are we getting racism? Are we calling racism when it really should be called like jealousy or envy? Because the melanated dude labeled him as racist, and that's what he labeled the YouTube video. But after hearing the white guy talk, he literally said, I hate black dudes because they get all the girls. He said they get all the white girls. He said, and they have big penises. And he said that's why he hate black guys. That's why he was being mean and nasty to the melanated gamer that he was playing against. But it makes sense. And so when he said that, I was like, oh, so he's jealous. He's envious. I don't know if that's racist. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, he said black guys. He didn't say any other race. He only, well, I'm sorry. Black is not a race. Please forgive me. Black isn't a race. It's the color. It's a color. It's the color of a crayon. So him hating melanated men stems from the fact that he feels they get all the white girls and they have big penises. And so that to me signals jealousy and envy more so than racism. And so I'm wondering if we're getting it wrong. You know what I mean? Like the folks out here who target melanated people, like to hurt them or defile them or, to harass them, to intimidate them and things like that. Is it done because there's a jealousy and envy there more so than racism? Is it just jealousy and envy? Now, I understand that jealousy and envy can be dangerous, right? It can be very dangerous. Like people can take it too far, clearly, right? And so should we continue calling it racism, or should we just call it severe jealousy, severe envy? Because you can be severely jealous and envious of a person until it becomes like a mental illness. Like it can become a mental illness, because if you're like prepared to physically hurt somebody over it, over jealousy and envy and stuff like that, that can be classified as a mental illness. Some people call it narcissism, but narcissism is like a mental illness, basically. You know what I mean? But it would make sense because, American Indians' identity has been stolen eons ago, right? And we have been given the label of African American and Black and colored and Negro and anything other than originating us back to what we are, American Indians, right? And so, the hatred comes from the stolen identity. The hatred, the jealousy, the envy comes from knowing that the original still exists. The hatred, the jealousy, and the envy comes from knowing that, if you stole the person's identity, you don't want people to know that you stole their identity. So you're trying to erase what you stole, so that people will look at you as the original and not look at the original like the original. So I think that there's always going to be that jealousy and that envy and that hatred there, because I think when they look at the original, they're realizing that they stole the identity of the original. Like I can't tell you how many times I've seen certain people, who has the identity of, Cherokee or, and they see me and they just turn their faces up, or they snarl, or, they get, and I immediately know what it is. Back before I didn't know what it was. I had to learn history and I had to learn a lot in order to understand where the sourness was coming from, where the hatred was coming from, the jealousy, the envy was coming from, right? But now I understand. When certain people look at me, they understand that I am original, right? And it makes them mad because they're looking at what they are trying to be instead of just being who they are. And it kind of goes back to, that SWASTiKA thing, right? And how the oldest swastika was discovered in 300 CE in Egypt, when Egypt was in America. And it kind of goes back to that, because that symbol was appropriated, right, by the neo-Nazis, right, German Nazis. And so if that symbol was appropriated from a melanated race, then it begs to ask the question, like, what symbol actually symbolizes that particular race, right? So I would ask a neo-Nazi, a German neo-Nazi, what is your original symbol? Not the one that you appropriated. What is your original symbol of your race? Where, what is there an ancient original symbol that is a part of your race? And if so, what is it? because it isn't the swastika. You just took that and said it's yours. You know what I mean? But what is your original symbol? You know what I mean? And so, you know, and therein lies the long history of taking and claiming and founding, you know what I mean? But it really not being original to the person or the group. And so, and then eliciting severe jealousy and envy and hatred because you know it's not original to you, and then you're hating who it's original to. I think that's fucked up. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, being an artist and creating wonderful art, and then somebody coming and trying to steal your work or trying to steal who you are, and then getting mad at you because they can't pull it off, right? They can't make people believe that this is their artwork, or they can't make people believe that they are really you. You know what I mean? They can't pull it off. And so then they look at you and they go, right? Because I'm telling you, I get looks like that. you know, and then they get mad at you because they can't pull you off. Ain't that about a bitch? It's like, look, I'm here, I'm existing, and you mad at me because you can't wear my skin? I'm sorry. It's something wrong with that. Like that's an issue. That's an issue, you know? And I'm not saying, obviously, all people don't have this issue, but there are some people that do have that issue. And honestly, I think that pretty much sums up why there is always a back and forth between, I don't even want to say the races, because some people might say back and forth between white and black. And it's kind of hard to say that because not all people who are part of the white race are racist, right? Not all Italians, not all, you know, in the Europe area, not all Europeans who are affiliated with different countries are racist or are severely jealous and envious and hateful in their hearts towards melanated people. Not all of them are like that, right? But some of them are. And so it's like, that's why I don't even like to say the white race, because when you do that, you're grouping everybody into one group, and that causes more divisiveness. That's like almost like saying, it's like what I saw on TikTok the other day. On TikTok the other day, this dude said to this melanated woman, you know, you should really stop talking like that about white people, right? Because when you talk like that about white people, you know, then that's making white people look at, you know, all black people, you know, in a really bad way, right? And when he said that, I said, see, that's the problem right there, right? How are you going to group all people together because of the comment of one person? It doesn't make sense. So you're going to persecute an entire race of melanated people because one melanated person said something that you didn't like? So that's why I don't like to say white against black, you know, black against white. I would rather if we just differentiated the races. And I think that's it'll make it easier to cut through who the real culprits are. It'll be easier to cut through who the real culprits are. You know what I'm saying? Instead of grouping to get saying, oh, black people. No. Black is not a race. Black is a color. It's the color of a crayon. Now, who are you talking? Are you talking about an African person? Are you talking about an American Indian? Are you talking about, you know, Mexican, Guatemala? Like, who are you talking about? Be specific about who you're talking about. And that'll pinpoint easily who it is, right? I don't think it's fair that everybody else gets to kind of keep their nationality, their race, right? And then and we can't. It just doesn't make sense to me. So, but anyway, what else did I want to talk about? I talked about the New York correctional officers. Talked about the SWASTiKAs. Talked about what else? I don't know if it's ever going to change, y'all. I don't know if it's ever going to change. You know, I treat everybody the same. I treat everybody with respect. I don't care what race you are, because I'm not prejudiced and I'm not hateful. I don't care about colorism. I don't care about status. I don't care about where you come from, what you look like. You know what I mean? Like, none of that stuff matters to me. And I think that if more people operated like that, it would be a more harmonious world. But through documentaries and films and things, it begins to become very easy to pinpoint who the culprits are. I'm trying to tell you. It really is. It really, really is. It's like becoming louder and more clear, you know, because the majority of people, I think, believe in peace and, you know, harmony and unity. Everybody wants their family to be safe and protected, and a lot of people want to be loved, you know. As they say, hurt people are the ones that need to be loved the most, right? Because they're so hurt. But then you know, it comes to a point where sometimes you have to be careful about that, because if you're not careful, that severely hurt person can end up hurting you, right? Even though you know that they need love, you know, they need it. But if they've never had it, so therefore they don't know what it looks like, what it feels like, they're going to destroy it. They are going to destroy it. And sometimes destroy it. Sometimes consciously they destroy it, but sometimes unconsciously they destroy it because they feel like it's too good to be true. It's not real. There's no way that this person can just unconditionally love me. Or they think like, you know, it's coming with something. What do you want? What do you want from me? Or do you like me or love me because of what I can do for you? Or, you know, or do you think I can do something for you? You know, I heard a lot of people hurt people say stuff like that. People only want me for what, you know, they think I can do for them. They only want to be around me so that I can buy them things. They only want to be around me so that I this and this and that, right? But then you find that the very person that complains about stuff like that will keep giving to motherfuckers. We'll keep giving money. We'll keep giving time. We'll keep giving this and giving this and giving and giving and giving and giving and giving. And it's just like, so you haven't learned your lesson yet. You sitting here literally complaining about people using and abusing you for what you can do for them. And then you keep doing. So they're not going to take you seriously because you're basically enabling them to continue to treat you like that. But I think they unconsciously do it because they want to be needed. And they feel like if they don't do it, then people are just going to leave them alone. But news flag, those are the motherfuckers that you want to leave you alone. The users and abusers, those are the ones that you want to leave you alone. You want them to leave you alone. You know? But some people, I feel, are scared to be alone. They're scared of what that feels like, what that looks like. You know what I mean? Well, if I stop giving to this person, and if I stop doing for this person, and if I just completely, you know, cut them cold turkey, you know, then I might lose everybody. You know? Everybody affiliated with them, I might lose them, right? And then I'll be alone. And it's like, maybe you should be alone to sit and think about some shit. And to sit and think about what these people bring to you. and how they make you feel. You know, it's crazy. Look at John. Where Kevin going, child? I told you I know too many people around here. But yeah, I guess I'm getting kind of deep this New Year's Eve. But I can't help it. I remember a little while ago, my mother said that I'm too deep. You're too deep. You're too deep. You need to stop being so deep. You're too deep. But how do you stop being what you naturally are? You know what? It will drive a kid crazy if they have to keep adhering to what their parents are telling them to be like. That would drive a kid crazy. I think a kid would end up having like a nervous condition or something because they always are going to feel like they have to adhere to being a certain way, speaking a certain way, walking a certain way, talking a certain way. You know? It's crazy because the world tells you enough who you are, or they tell you enough who they want you to be. And then when you're fighting back at the world, telling them that's not me, this is me, and then they attack you for it. They attack you for it. Hi. Like they attack you for it. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. I think I'm gonna post something on my community tab that relates to what I'm talking about after this live, because I used to be that way. I used to be that people pleaser, that people pleasing person who just wanted everyone to feel okay, even if, you know, I was the one hurting. I got past that shit. I broke out of that phase. I'm so glad I broke out of that phase because it was not working for me. And when you break out of it, that's when, like, you really think that the demons are after you. When you break out of it, that's when the demons come harder after you. They come harder after you, you know, because they feel like they can't control you anymore. I should say, not say the demons. I should say the demons within the person. The demons within the person come after you harder because they feel like they can't control you anymore. You want to have lunch and record a song with me? Oh, yeah. Where are you located? They come after you harder. It's almost like they come after you harder because they're trying to get a grip of you again or get a hold of you, you know? And if you're not complying, then they try to like elicit some type of tactic, some type of repercussion, some type of retaliation tactic to whip you back into shape. And they will do any and everything to do it. They will, you know, lie on you. They will, you know, go around getting people to turn against you. They will, you know, manipulate shit. They will throw major boulders, major obstacles in your way to make your life hard as hell, just so that they can try to break you down to size, to make you comply to what they want you to be, because you refuse to be anything but who you are. Ain't that something? that a person would go that far and stoop so low to try to make you comply to what they want you to be like. It's sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. And I used to be the naive chick back in the day where I used to think, oh, all you have to do is love people. Oh, all you have to do is just be kind to them and they'll reciprocate. And I used to be so naive thinking that. So naive. Because that is so not true. Because everyone is conditioned differently. And everyone, you know, they act on how they're conditioned. And it's interesting how some people will purposely target you thinking that they can get over on you. And then they are so surprised when they figure out, like, oh shit, she's really not to be fucked with, or he's really not to be fucked with, or oh shit, they were peeping what I was doing the whole time. They were watching me the whole time. They were watching me the whole time trying to play them, but they were really playing me because they knew that I was trying to play them. That's why it's just be a kind person. Just be a kind person. Just be a good person. So then you don't have to worry about going through that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be worried about, you know, somebody watching your ass. Because somebody's always watching. People do shit and they think nobody is watching. Yeah, they are. Somebody's always watching. And a lot of times the ones that are like serious spies, like they spy on you via like audio, video, or, you know, or through other people and stuff. Those be the main motherfuckers. Those are the ones that do corrupt shit, criminal shit. Those are the ones that do criminal shit because they feel like they always have to watch you. They feel like they always have to watch everything, or you know what I mean? It's like, well, what are you doing? And then they assume that they know exactly how you are, who you are, what you doing. You know, it's crazy. I don't watch motherfuckers like that because I don't care what people do. I don't care what people do in their house, in a bedroom, in a personal time, at work. I don't care. If it's not affecting me, it ain't affecting my kids. If it's not, I don't care what you do. And I'm not watching to see what you do either. I don't care. It's your personal business. I'm busy doing something else. You know what I'm saying? So if you, I'm not even gonna get into it anyway, y'all. Oh, that's right. You did say you were in St. Louis, Missouri. You have a portable digital recorder? What do you sing? Oh, you said, I know you said you were an artist. I know you said you were an artist. So you're like a singer? Do you sing? A portable digital recorder? A portable digital recorder. It almost, when you say that, it makes me think of like a little tape recorder, right? Poetry, rap. Oh, you rap. Okay. Okay. Do you have an artistry page or something with your work on it? Because I would never say that I will. Well, actually, I don't know. I recently listened to Wiz Khalifa, and Wiz Khalifa said that he would collaborate with anybody. He was talking to Shay Shay, and Shay Shay was like, "You'll collaborate with anybody?" And when he said that, in my mind, I was like, "Well, why would you collaborate with anybody? You don't even know if they're like, you should collaborate with them or not. Why would you just say you'll collaborate with anybody?" And then when he broke it down more, I was like, "Oh, okay." He said that he'll get with the person, and he said he'll know within like a couple days whether they vibe together or whether it's going to work. So what's interesting and what's actually pretty cool about what Wiz said is that he's willing to give anybody a chance to collaborate with them. And that's pretty dope. I don't think you hear many artists say stuff like that. I know I haven't heard many artists say stuff like that. So the fact that he was like, he's willing to collaborate with anybody. That's true. You will know if you vibe with a person immediately. So I would say 4-track, 8-track. So I would say I would probably see if we even vibe, because not all artists vibe. Not all artists vibe, but so we would just have to see if we vibe. If we do, we do. If we don't, it's all good. Not everybody is for everybody. Creativity is everywhere. You never know what might develop. That's true. That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. But I mean, I'm just saying, as far as like art is one thing, but like impersonalities and stuff is another. You know. So you just see. I'm open. I'm open to test the waters. I'm open to test the waters. I haven't collaborated. I think only collaborated when I was in the Los Angeles Film School. I collaborated with folks because they like the professor made us, like he put us in groups to see how we would do in group settings and stuff. So I collaborated with folks when I was in school. Outside of school, I haven't collaborated with anyone. I just been doing my own thing. So I'll write the song, I'll create the music, compose the music, I'll mix, master, produce the music and put it out, So I just kind of do it all myself. I like actually I know that I'm always willing to get help from other people. I'm always willing to learn. And I know there's a lot that I need to learn. And so sometimes I wish that I had like a really good mentor in music, like music wise, because I think it would just do nothing but help me develop a lot more. But I still do what I do. Like I wish I was in a position where I had like a in-house studio or something, so anytime a melody hits me, I can just jump up. The artist first, I collaborated with a guy whose personality was too much for me, but as an artist I loved him more. Oh, okay. No, I hear you. I just ran into someone a couple weeks ago who has an amazing voice. He said that I'm sorry, she is a trans woman. She said that she went to American Idol, didn't get in, and she's been trying different avenues and stuff, and it's not working for her or whatever. But she has an amazing voice, like amazing. So much so that I was like, give me your phone number, because wherever I end up, like I wouldn't mind recording your voice on something. Like that's how good it was. So, like you said, the art is the art. You separate the art from, the art is the art. Don't matter who it's coming from. So we made songs that never would have existed. Exactly. Okay, I mean, I hear that. But you still never said if you have an artistry page. Did you tell me if you have it? You never answered that question. You never answer that question if you have like an artistry, because it's clear that you make music, or you don't have anywhere where your stuff is public. Like you should know by now, I have an artistry page at that girl Shanda with a lot of my art on it, so anybody can go and see what I'm about. I mean, that's not the only art I create. I create a lot. I create a lot of different things. I think people would be surprised to know how much I create. What's the best thing in the world is when you surprise yourself. When you surprise yourself with what you create. Like, honestly, I look back on old things that I forgot that I did, and then I listen to it or read it, and I'm just like, wow. Like, where was my mind at this point? Or where was I thinking at? Like what? Like, where was my mind to bring me to that place to be able to create that at that moment? And then I'm like, that's so dope. I'm always excited. No, you don't have an artist page? What? That's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. So like so you don't do music to make money from it, you just kind of do it? Been mostly working construction, slowing down from that life, but been creating the whole time. Okay. Construction is dangerous. But I know a lot of people work in construction. Do you work on houses? Or do you just kind of like do like government jobs and stuff? You said thank God that it's slowing down. Most people that I know that's in construction, they don't like when it slows down. Oh, you see what I'm saying? It's dangerous. I spoke to a lot of guys. I actually meet a lot of guys in construction through the motel because they'll get contracted through different companies or whatever to work. And so it'll be like a group of them at a time, and they'll come to the motel and book like a couple rooms for a long period of time while they're working their construction jobs. Exactly, you're alive. Exactly, and they always tell me how dangerous it is. This one guy, um, he recently had an eye injury because he got stucco stuck in his eye. I said, "Oh my god!" I said, "Were you not wearing goggles?" No. Got to be careful with that stuff. But anyway, it certainly is. Let me look around. Well, I'll be working tomorrow. Are you partying tonight? Sometimes you get called out of town and you get paid extra. Yeah, the guys that I check in to the motel, they're out of town. They like from Texas, from Dallas, and they came all the way out here to Southern California for jobs. And then they left and went back home. And then the company called them back out again, so they came back out or whatever. I was like, oh, you came back to the same motel? Because they definitely didn't have to come back to the same, but they did. Those no party, the movie, that's it. What's the movie? Watching the ball drop? Yeah, I'm not into all of that partying and stuff, but you know, if I was invited or something somewhere, I probably would. Hey, would I go? I probably would go. Wicked. Oh, the movie Wicked. Oh, you're going out to the movie. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Well, tell me how you like the movie Wicked, the one with completely forgot the lady name. I forgot both the ladies' name. I know one's a singer and one's an actress, and I forgot both of their names. You're a big movie buff, yeah? My mom's a big movie buff. I wouldn't say that I'm a big movie buff. I like movies. Yeah, Grande. Okay. Hi. My ex used to get so mad at me because we would watch movies and like halfway through I would be asked, oh, so what do you think of this and what do you think of that? And I'm just like, huh? What are you doing? What do you mean, huh? You're not watching the movie? But I would be in my head, like thinking about something or creating something. Like, it's bad. And I think that it was because that the movie just didn't grasp my attention. That's what I discovered. Like, the movie just didn't grasp my attention. Because you know how sometimes, you know, if you have a spouse, they may like a particular style of movie that you may not gravitate towards, but you'll just sit through it and watch it with them because they want you to, you know? So I guess I discovered that it was kind of like that. If I didn't gravitate to the movie, then my brain was thinking about something else. So I completely tuned the movie out. I'm just like, well, my body is here. But I guess that still wasn't good enough. But if it was like a movie that I gravitated towards, then I would totally pay attention because it would have my attention, right? So that's funny. Yeah, Ariana Grande. That's right, Ariana Grande. Well, let me know how the movie is. because I think it's like a remake. Because I could have sworn years ago there was a movie called Wicked that came out. So I think it's like a remake or something. Something like that. Who is this? I'm being nosy, y'all. But what was I gonna say? Is anybody? Are you partying tonight, Myers? Cinematography is different from one film to another. Of course it is. And a lot of times when you watch a movie more than once, you'll more than likely discover like things that you missed. I've discovered that with watching movies. Like if I have a favorite movie and I watch it again and again, and then I'll discover things that I didn't discover before. So like Home Alone is one of my favorite Christmas movies, the first one. But I don't think I've discovered anything. I think I pretty much know everything, unless I'm wrong. Unless but every time I watch it, I think I got it pretty much down packed. But it's like one of those classic movies to me that I don't think ever gets old. It's like the first Michael Myers movie or the first Freddy Krueger movie or, the originals are usually like the first Little Mermaid. The originals are always the best. And then the remakes come afterwards. And, sometimes they're good and sometimes they're not. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah. You ever seen Sankofa, The Door of No Return by Hale Jarima? The name sounds familiar. Probably not. But the name sounds familiar. Sankofa sounds really familiar. So I'm pretty sure I've heard of it. The Door of No Return. Is the Door of No Return that... Are they talking about that place in... what's that African country? A place in an African... Was it Ghana? A place in an African country where like African slaves left from to be deported. Okay. So I know the Door of No Return because I know, I read some of the history of it. And I saw some documentaries. So maybe I did see it and I just don't remember that I saw it. But I know I've seen a lot of history on it. Yeah, Ghana. So I'm right. Okay. Yeah, I've seen a lot of history on it. A lot of history. I have a few friends that are from Ghana that I went to college with. And she used to always tell me, I don't know why people always say, Africa is poor and this is that and this. And she's like, no, she's like, where I'm from, we have nice houses and my family member owns this hotel and da-da-da-da. And she's always asking me to come to Ghana. Just come visit, just come back, come home with me. But I never got a chance to go. It's interesting because even though there's some people that say that they're going to move to Africa, I find that a lot of people that actually do make the move to Africa, some of them wish that they didn't do it because they either say that they get scammed or robbed or they're not treated like a brother or sister because apparently some Africans look at Americans like, like we're not brothers or sisters or something like that. Well, that's what I was told. But there are a lot of stories on YouTube of couples who moved to Africa thinking it was going to, they were going to be embraced and it was going to be great. And they were just like, we feel like this was the biggest mistake of our life. And they end up coming back to America. So it's interesting. Even invited to Senegal, we're looked at as Americans. Well, that's what we are. We are. I'm American Indian. That's why, when they try to place the name on me, African American, I'm like, I'm not African. I'm not. I'm American. I'm American Indian. So, and I can name what my dad's side is and I can name what my mom's side is, and it's not African. So it is what it is. I'm West Indian. And it's okay. It is okay. But I was also told by some people who came to America, like from other countries, they literally told me that when they come into America, that they're taught to like hate American Indians. Like they're taught, even though, but they call us black though, black people, but American Indians, they're taught to hate American Indians. And I was, are you serious? And they're like, yeah, they tell us like to look down on you, or like you're inferior. They, and I guess they do that in order to get foreigners on their side, or something like that. And this is the government. You know what I mean? I'm just like, damn, we can't break. Talking about being hated, child. This is ridiculous. You've heard that, right? I was literally told that by an immigrant that came into this country. Like, yeah, when we first came here, me and my family, we're told that, we have to treat black people like this way, and down on you, and to hate you. And I'm like, what? And then this Euro Asian Indian from East India, I actually did a video on this one because it blew my mind what she was saying. And she was like, yeah, like we're literally taught to look down on you guys. Like, and she said, and after she read up on history and learned about American Indians, she was like, I discovered that you guys are the original race. Like, you were here first. She was like, America is like the oldest continent. She was like, and the fact that we're taught to hate you when we should really be like praising you, or like, holding you up high and loving you and all that stuff. She was like, it just kind of blew my mind that, and I was like, and she's young. She's like 20 years old. So I like praised her. I was like, I praise you for even, thinking enough in your own mind to do your own research, because a lot of people don't do that. They don't do their own research to figure out what the real truth is. They just go by what third parties tell them. And, as long as they're not the ones being fucked over, which a lot of times they are being fucked over, they just don't know that they're being fucked over because they think that everything is, hunky-dory on their end, but little do they know. It's like you're just being used as a prop, okay? Being used as a prop, as a tool to carry out an agenda. But yeah, I praised her. I did a video on it because I thought it was so interesting. The video I found on this YouTuber's channel, Ivy Anita, Ivieanita, Ivie Anita. She had an interview with the Euro Asian East Indian young lady, and this is what she was talking about. So I did a video covering it because I just thought it was so fascinating. Which town do you live in? Hi, which town do you live in? What time have you? Which town do I live in? Why? What town do you live in? I live in Southern California. So from that, you will be able to know the Pacific time. You'll be interacting with immigrants. Then they sometimes break down and tell you that, wow, you're a wonderful people. Yeah, exactly. Because after they get to know you, that was another thing that lady said. She was like, yeah, and then, I was around a lot of, American Indians, and I got to know you guys. And I'm like, wait, but they're really nice. They're really nice. They're really nice. Like, I don't understand why we have to hate them. I was like, damn. Like, that is so messed up, man. I'm so glad for those who have done the research. We need more of them to do so. Yeah. Yeah. You're nothing like I was told. Exactly. But you got to see for yourself. You got to see it to believe it, baby. Like they say, don't knock it till you try it. Don't knock it till you try it. But I guess it's all about stoking fear in people's heart. Oh, be scared of the melanated people. Be scared of the American Indians. Be scared. Ooh, they're like we're boogie people or something. Like, it's like, what? It's like, y'all know y'all love us. Y'all love us a lot. I should, you know what I'm going to do is I will post the link to that video that I did with that East Indian lady and the stuff, all the stuff that she was talking about. I'm going to put the link. I'm going to add it here after I come off a live so that people can have a reference, a source to go back to see what I'm talking about. Because I'm pretty sure it'll blow your mind too. You'll be like, wow, she's so young, but she's really smart. You live in Europe, Austria? Oh, okay. Well, hello from Austria. So you're Austrian. You're Austrian. See how we know what his heritage is, where his ethnicity lies, or her? Austrian, because you're from Austria. I get trusting of the government when you're going into a country for the first time. Well, yeah, and because a lot of people, a lot of foreigners, they want to come to America because everyone always talks about how great America is. So a lot of people want to come to America and they want to be known as American, you know? So if you feel like the only way for you to get in and to get access to certain things is to do what you're told to do, then I guess that does make sense. Vienna City? Uh-oh. 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 Is that the place where they have the buildings in water, on water? And you kind of have to get in boats like a gondola and paddle through the buildings that are on top of water? The fact that you even said Vienna is concerning to me. I mean, only because I've heard of like kind of basically what I was talking about in my video is reminiscent to Vienna. So if you coming on here trying to get at me because I may be triggering some things. Yeah, I heard about Vienna. I heard y'all are not so nice to melanated people. I'll just say it like that. I heard y'all are not very nice to melanated people. Not very nice at all. Is that true? Is that true? I would like to know from your mouth, because I already, read up on some things and I've already been told some things, but, you can give me your rendition of the story that I've been told. How much trash are we told when going to visit Jamaica? Stay near the resort. What's wrong with Jamaica? Well, I think I would always, I don't think I would veer away from a resort in any country unless I had like a trusted individual. Like if I have a friend that's Jamaican and they have a home, like they just, they got family there and they're just like, oh, we'll come. Like kind of like my friend from Ghana was like, oh, I got a lot of family there. They own a hotel, blah, blah, blah. So that they know the area, right? They know where things are outside of a resort or a city or a hotel. So I think you should only venture out if you have a trusted individual, because I don't know. I mean, I heard that there are a lot of nice parts in Jamaica. So I definitely want to travel though. I want to travel and go to a lot of different countries. I'm that kind of person. It's interesting because my mother says she don't ever want to travel anywhere. She's like, I don't ever want to leave America. I want to stay right here. I don't want to go anywhere. And I was like, really? Like at all? You don't have the you don't have a bucket list? Like you don't want to travel anywhere outside of the country? She was like, no, I don't want to go nowhere. And it's crazy is because my grandmother, my mother's mother, is the complete opposite. Like my grandma, she traveled around. My grandma went to different countries. You know what I mean? Puerto Rico and the islands. And my grandmama didn't play. My grandmama traveled, whether by plane or cruise ship. So it's just interesting to hear my mother say that she don't want to go nowhere, ever want to go nowhere. And she knocking on 70 years old. So I'm just like, you don't want to go nowhere before you go on to glory? like go somewhere, I had a friend who went to Jamaica, left the resort, and had a great time in the real Jamaica. I bet. The food is probably better. Let me stop. They probably have good food at the resort, but you know what I mean. You know how those hole in the walls, they call them, the shacks, those hole in the walls sometimes have the best food, have the best people, literally the best people. I used to when I lived in Las Vegas, Nevada, I used to go to these upscale nail salons, right? And they were okay, but sometimes the customer service wasn't great, and sometimes they just didn't do your nails good, right? And I found this hole in the wall nail salon, which it wasn't upscale. You would from the look of the outside of it, you probably would be like, you go in and you're like, but the people were amazing. They were amazing. The people inside, great customer service, and they did your nails great. But it looked like a straight hole in the wall, and a person probably wouldn't go there because. And so I think that goes to show you what do they call it? Looks can be deceiving. You know what I'm saying? Like a person will look at you and judge you and think all kind of things, and then when they get to know who you are, then it's like, oh, you're not at all what I thought you were just by looking at you, or you're not at all who, all these other people claimed you to be. You're not at all like that. Wow. It's like, yeah, because you need to go straight to the horse's mouth. Stop going through third parties. Stop listening to he said, she said, we said, and go straight to the horse's mouth. That's what I do. I go straight to the horse's mouth. When I got a problem, I go straight to the horse's mouth. And people say, well, Shanda, how come you didn't ask us? Or why didn't you say this? Or why didn't you? I said, no, because I went straight to the horse's mouth. I don't have to talk to you about nothing. If I got a qualm with somebody, I'm gonna go straight to the person that I got the qualm with. We're gonna figure it out. we gonna figure it out. Okay. I don't got time to go all around the mulberry bush to figure something out. And if I could just go straight to the person. I had a friend who went, oh, you already told me that. But anyway, y'all, I guess I will get off live. Maybe I'll come back on later. It depends on what I get into. Because, it's New Year's Eve and people are partying and all that good stuff. So if I get into something interesting or something festive or whatever, maybe I'll come back on live and hang out with you guys or hang out with everybody. Because, it seems like a lot of people are probably going to be inside. I mean, I know it's going to be a lot of people partying, but I know it's going to be a lot of people that are just staying home, not doing too much, which I get, But if you're not subscribed to All Baddies Got a Story, ooh, you know what's interesting? The dude from Vienna, when I asked that question, he didn't respond. He didn't respond. So does the silence mean that I'm correct? We one-on-one talk about y'all. Okay. He didn't say. I said, because I heard and I read and I was told. He didn't say nothing. So that's interesting. It's interesting. It's almost like he was listening to me speak and decided to target my ass. Like, what's she talking about? Why is she saying this stuff? Because it's true. That's why I could talk about the truth. It's true. We need to have more conversations like this on a bigger scale. And maybe President-elect Trump and his new VP will want to encourage more talks like this. I think it would be quite interesting, quite fascinating. Maybe we'll get further with race relations if we do. You never know. She knows. Like that Beyonce meme. She knows. I know. I'm so silly. But anyway, if you haven't subscribed to All Baddies, sorry, we spoke only German. Oh, he answered the question. That was his way of answering the question. Okay, thank you for answering the question. Thank you. that answered it for me. It's nice to know that you were still here listening too. I knew your ass was listening to me the whole time. And so you decided to target me. I mean, it's true. It's facts. I mean, I don't understand, it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't have a problem with Germans. I had a German that was following me in a chat that asked me if I would come to Germany. Well, actually, he asked me if I would come to Germany and marry me. Now, I don't know if he was trying to lure me there because maybe he wanted, to do something else. But, I have friends that go to Germany to visit. I don't have a problem with Germans. Actually, one of my favorite philosophers is German. Now, a lot of German people don't like him. They don't like him. And he's German. But a lot of Germans don't like him because they feel like he's a traitor to his race because of all of the truths he was speaking about his people. And they didn't like that. They didn't like that. But one of my favorite philosophers is German. Can you guess who it is? Can you guess his name? Can you guess his name? And if you guess his name, then I assume that you might hate his ass too. Either that or you just know all of the Germans that hate him or something. I don't know. Anyway, this is funny. Anyway, so if you're not subscribed to All Baddies Got a Story, please subscribe to All Baddies Got a Story. I go live every day, sometimes twice a day. I also have my other feature channels on this page. Check them out. Subscribe. I have a podcast, All Baddies Got a Story podcast. I have a few episodes in my podcast playlist folder. Check those out if you like it and you vibe to it. The link to the pod is in the profile. Subscribe to that. My New Year's joint will be to mentally state my intentions and expectations before I enter a space. All right. I hear that. You just reminded me. Yeah. Of something. Okay. I hear that. I hear that. Thanks for joining the chat, y'all. You live all day, every day. Fine as frog's hair. What the hell is frog's hair? Frogs don't have hair. What the hell? I don't get that. I was getting closer to you. I don't know why people keep pulling up in here. It ain't open. Unless people are treating it like a lover's lane or something and they just pulling up in here to love on each other. I don't know. Anyway. That's their business. They can do what they want. So I'll probably come on live again later on, depending on what I get into, what festivities I get caught up in. But other than that, Happy New Year's, guys. If I don't come back on live later, Happy New Year's. And I will talk to you guys mañana because I definitely will be at work as usual. That's fine. All right. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.